Hey there! Today I want to give you a tour of my Dodge Promaster van with the Wayfarer Build. So come on, let's go check it out and I'll show you what's inside, some of the enhancements I made, and whether I like this build or not. So come with me, let's take a look. So this is the 2019 Dodge Promaster in the silver color. We'll take a look at the outside in a bit. But first, let's go inside and see what's inside of this bad boy. All right. So this is the Wayfarer Build, and there's Oliver. How you doing, Oliver? Oliver travels with us quite a bit. And let's start over here. Obviously, one of the great features of this van is these seats that turn around. This is nothing new for anybody, but man, turning these seats around is a huge benefit. Also, while we're over here, my wife is really short, so she can't, her feet don't hit the bottom of the floor. These are stock seats, but her feet, just her toes touch and she gets uncomfortable. So I purchased her a little step ladder here that folds in and out so she can rest her feet up a little higher than normal there. I also put some charging ports here for USB, so we can charge our phones and other things while we're going down the road, that type of thing there. One cool thing about the front of this is that I bought this shade. It's an Eclipse shade that just permanently stays on the van. Sorry, the window's super dirty. I need to wash those water spots off. But anyways, this just comes out like an accordion and velcros to the other side, and instantly you can have shade at a moment's notice. So if you're at a trailhead or a mountain bike parking lot and you don't want people to see in while you're changing clothes, you can do that also. So this is the spice box that Wayfarer makes, and I added that after the fact. And I tell you what, I really enjoy this. It kind of cleans everything up. It's really nice, nice look, and it's very functional. I mean, in here I have all our spices, and you can see how things shake down the road. I actually put this yardstick in here from Home Depot because half the time I'd open this and things would fall out onto on the counter here. So I went ahead and put this yardstick in here just to keep things from falling out when I open them, because I used to open them real cautiously. And you can see deep down in here, as things, you know, start to change and flop around the road, they start to fall out. But I'm going to Velcro that in, but that's a nice little trick to keep things from falling out. Still have a little basket up here to keep some essential things in. We keep like Simple Green in here and water. This is great. This is a great little trick. So if you're out in the out camping and you want to wash your hands but you don't want to use the water, you just, I'm gonna do it outside here, you just kind of spray your hands a little bit, wipe them up, and you can clean your hands real quickly without using the sink pump or anything like that. Also with this kitchen galley, Wayfarer has a few different drawers in here to store your stove and your utensils, and then pots and pans and Tupperware. And then down here we kind of keep all our dry goods, cutting as coffee, candy, all things like that in there, and it holds up pretty well in there. Also, this is under the sink here, and we have gray water and fresh water. This works out really good. We have a trash can in there, and I went ahead and Velcroed these baskets on the top of the water, so we have more storage up there. So that's just another way to kind of take advantage of that extra room up top there. I know some of these vans have a water tank in them, and I got to tell you, the magic in this build is the simplicity. Having the water right here is just great, because we never usually use it all, and it does, you know, if it freezes, it's okay, so we can use it in the cold. We don't have to winterize the rig like we used to in some of our other RVs. And so this simple system is amazing. Even this pump, this is a hand pump. And when I first got the van, I thought, oh, you know, I'm gonna want a electric pump, and I'm gonna want a switch and all that stuff. And you know what? There's beauty in the simplicity. I actually love the manual pump. It saves on water. There's not much to go wrong, and I actually wouldn't change it. I prefer the manual pump now. So the manual pump and this simple gray fresh water 5-gallon tanks are just easy. And again, in the wintertime, if you're going skiing or going out in the winter, if you run into to bad weather or sub-freezing temperatures, that can freeze and it's not going to hurt anything. The water actually runs out of this pump here, the hand pump, and so there's really nothing to freeze. So it's not like you have to worry about not having water or winterizing your rig when you get into cold temperatures. So that's really, really, really nice. So great little kitchenette there. This is our bed. What we have chosen to do on the bed is we used to put, we do have a sheet on here, but we used to put full sheets with a comforter, and we found that just making the bed was a lot of hassle and a lot of work. So we went to the fact of just getting this North Face sleeping bag, and that way it's easy to make in the morning. It keeps you plenty warm. Actually, it's too hot on occasion. And underneath this is a nice soft sheet, but then underneath here we have the original Wayfarer mattress, and then we added about it's probably a 3-inch memory foam mattress on top of that. So that makes the whole thing super, super comfortable. So really haven't had any problems with that at all. This side here kind of lifts up to make a kind of an arc, 45-degree angle, so you can lift up your bed. Never used it, probably never will. It's a great feature, I guess, for someone, but we don't use it at all there. Also, this is another add-on for Wayfarer. It's a little table that pulls out, and if you have room height-wise to put this in, this is a must. This is so helpful to just give you more counter space, cook on, play cards on, add a table. Sometimes here we put another chair when we bring someone else in here. So very functional piece, simple. And again, things like this, the bungee cord holds it in. I mean, it doesn't get much simpler than that. I went ahead and added a few little lights on Amazon underneath here, just to kind of, sometimes when you're getting up at night, go in the bathroom, you don't want to wake up everybody and turn on all the lights. So a quick little light like this becomes very helpful. This is on the, we have a box on the back that Wayfarer offers, a storage box. I purchased that. That's very handy to keep things organized and clean. Otherwise, things start to fall around in the back. On top of this box, we keep Oliver's crate, because at night he usually sleeps in a crate. And then in this box right here, we have some storage, obviously. You can see we got paper towels and the jacks and other things, but I have an extra battery in here that powers the lights that we have in here, the fan, and then my heater. My heater's down in here also. You can lift this up so you can see it underneath those racks there. I put these racks on top so we can store more stuff. And this is a heater made by Espar. This is an Espar heater. Here's the control right here for the Espar heater. It's amazing. It runs off the gasoline on the van, so you don't have to have propane in your vehicle. They can be finicky at times. We've had some problems with it, but when it works, it's completely amazing. So I love having this heater, and it doesn't take hardly any gas. I never notice any problems of using fuel or too much fuel when we're out on the road. So I love the heater. They are fairly expensive. I think they're $3,500, $3,700. Don't quote me on that, but prices are changing, all the time. But I think it's well worth it. I also had them add a 12-volt plug here just to plug in different things at different times. So that's what's in the first section of the boot box. Mostly our heater and then some storage. I went ahead and was running a cooler just a regular cooler for a long time, and then ended up purchasing this Dometic cooler. This is a pretty popular cooler that most van people use. This is the CFX 335, and it fits well underneath here. Now that we have a cooler, I would never want to go back to a cooler refrigerator. I would never want to go back to a regular cooler. It's just so much easier not having to worry about ice anymore. So that's awesome. So the question I get all the time is, do you have solar? How do you power this? Because when you have a van, the fridge is a huge drain on power. So it's your biggest power hog. So what we do is we do not have solar, and we have this lithium iron battery made by Dometic, also, that I keep down here. And then I just run a wire across and back here. Actually, that's that wire right here. I have to tack it up. But this little device powers the fridge. I have a video on this device as far as how long it will power the fridge. And you can watch that video if you go to my YouTube page. And this thing powers it long enough to keep things cool for the time that we stay parked. We're only parked somewhere 2 or 3 days, and then we're moving again. And the cool thing about this is that once you start the van, it starts to charge this. And in 30 minutes, this is almost a third charge. So we don't need solar to run the fridge. And we don't have a huge power consumption in this van. The only thing that's using power is the fridge and our lights. And then the fan for the heater, and then the fan for the fan up top. And we'll talk about that in a minute. But we don't have a huge need for power like most do. And it just works well. So this little device powers the fridge, and that's all we do. And it's worked well, very, very well. I want to talk about some things we did back here. So obviously we have the shelving and put some baskets up there. Wayfarer just this week actually added a feature where you can add cabinets and boxes up here. I think that's amazing. I've been wanting that for a super long time. So that's huge. So I'm definitely going to do that upgrade. Went ahead and added some boxes and some things to hold things up here. And it's worked fairly well. We took this picture in Moab and I hung it up here. This is Looking Glass Rock. And so I took that. I actually had, my business is in lawn care, and we had a whole bunch of lawn care trucks. So I took the license plates off the lawn care trucks and made the name Lucky, which is what we call the van. We just feel like we're lucky that we're able to buy crazy things like this in America and go travel. You know, not everybody in the country and not everybody in the world can do this. So I think it's a huge luxury. I'm just grateful for you and all of us that can do this. So I would just consider us all lucky. On this side, I have some pictures of the dog, the family, the kids, that type of thing. So that kind of works really nice. I ordered these on the internet through Mixtiles, so they're really cool. And then we have, my wife keeps her stuff on this side also here. As far as covers for the windows, I have shades in the back, as you can see here. They even make a cool little shade right here. And this is made by Vanmade Gear. Vanmade Gear makes really nice, really nice window coverings. So you can put this up, and they're magnetic, and voila, we got a cover for the fan up there. We got covers for the windows. I got covers for the door right here. I'll show you this door. And this, what I like about these is they just stay on all the time, so you don't have to take them down and store them somewhere. I have one other shade up here underneath the spice rack, and then I have some stored up here that are for my 2 side windows, so I can completely block everything out here. And this is really cool. So if you're at a campsite and you want to go stealth, you can turn all your lights on here and no one can see in. Everybody asks, do we have a bathroom? And the answer is kind of yes. So this is our toilet. This is made by, looks like Reliance. This little toilet, it's a bucket with a toilet lid on top of it here. I originally purchased one from Amazon that broke. We broke it. And then I just purchased this one from Cabela's because it was less money this time. We go ahead and we put 2 bags in here that have kind of a scent to them. And then we put some kitty litter in there. And my wife mostly uses this as a restroom. And it's amazing. I mean, she loves it. I love it because she's got to pee all the time, so it keeps us from stopping all the time. And I think it was $20. This thing, she would rather use this bathroom than go to a restroom at the gas station or a grocery store. She loves this thing. Sounds crazy, I know. I bought the original one for her for Christmas. What a gift. I don't recommend that. And she loved it. So this solves your bathroom needs. We have some hooks here. I keep the dog leashes, some carabiners. I keep my jacket here. I have a CO2 sensor here to see if there's any ever problems in the van. Let's see. Also, this is our boot box, and in our storage box here, we keep all kinds of little things. We keep I keep a vacuum in here because for those of you that have a van know that the floor constantly gets dirty, and you're not going to solve that problem except by cleaning it. We keep drinking water in here. Keep our eggs in here. I keep my levelers for my van in here. This is our step. We have a little step that we throw out here for the van, just like that. That works really well. So I just keep some of the essential things in this boot box here. Also, by the way, this is an aftermarket built ceiling. This is a cedar ceiling. I ended up taking off the Wayfarer ceiling just because it's a nice ceiling that it comes with. It's aluminum. It looks like this. I just wanted to warm up the van. And when I say warm, I just wanted like a more cozier feel in the van. And so this is an upgrade I wanted to do, is put the cedar ceiling in, and it turned out really nice, and it does warm up the van and give it more of like a homely feel to it. And then I added these lights in here, and I had a company in Colorado do that for me, and if you want, I can leave the link below. They're up in Longmont, Colorado. But they did a really nice job on the ceiling, and Matt and his crew up there just did a great job. And I mean, it's beautiful, and I love wood anyways. And so I went ahead and when he built the ceiling, he added another charging source for me, and then a meter with another 2 USB ports on here. And this just tells me the volts of my battery. And then I ended up doing a light for the front half of the van, and then a light switch for the back half of the van. And then these are dimming lights also. So if you hold them in, they dim, and if you hold them up, they go bright, and you just touch them once real quick, and then they're done. So that worked out really, really good also, as this ceiling. So really made a difference on the inside of the van. So let's go ahead. Oh, wait, one more thing I want to show you. I bought this on Amazon. This is a little paper towel rack. It's magnetic, so it just goes in the corner here, and I store our paper towels here. We also use little plastic bins like this to store things. That works really great, that type of thing. So let's go take a look at the outside of the van. Actually, I take that back. Before we go to the outside, let's show you the rear end of the van. So the back end of the van is where I keep my bikes. I have 2 bikes. They're not in here now, but I have a mountain bike, and then I have a gravel bike that I keep right here. I have Wayfarer made me a little plate that screws into the L-track, and then this is my mount for my mountain bike, and this is my mount for my gravel bike. I actually just had to redo this mount. You can see the old holes here, because I bought a new mountain bike that was a little longer and a little taller, so I had to kind of move it around just a bit. And we have a stock charger back here. This is for the lithium ion battery right there, the Dometic that charges the fridge. And then we've been sticking stickers on the side of places we've been visiting. So this area right here holds my bikes. By the way, my wife's bike usually goes in the back on the hitch. I got a bike rack for the hitch, and she doesn't take her bike all the time. So also in the back here, I keep my helmet here. I'm a big mountain biker, so this bin right here is for all my mountain biking gear, my shirts, my shorts, pumps are in there, anything I need for mountain biking. And then this is just another bin for just little junk, towels and Ziploc bags. My wife keeps a few things in there. And then I put them on this rubber mat, and they actually don't slide around at all. So this is really handy and works well. In this, I have a little bag here. We keep kind of our towels. We keep this towel right here. This is from Brazil, actually. It's a big sheet that we put over the back two doors so we can block ourselves off and hide ourselves when we take a shower. And then I bought these little OXO clips, and they're magnetic on one side, so they stick to the underneath of the bed. But we use these to help hold on that towel I just showed you to hide us from taking a shower. So that works out really cool, and it's all handy here. So now I told you, you do not need propane, and you see there's a bottle of propane there. So you may say, John, what the heck are you doing with propane? Well, in here is the propane to run my outside fire pit. Underneath here, I'm not going to pull it out now, but underneath here I have a little camping fire pit that it's just really nice when you're out camping and you got a fire to sit around. So I keep this in here. It almost lasts all season, this little thing. My fire pit's under there. Sometime I'll do a video on that fire pit and how it works. And then I have the Pico chairs that fold up really small in here, and some extra propane. I keep these pool noodles around because for my bike, it just keeps things from hitting my bike and touching stuff. So I always keep a few pool noodles around just for protection wise. And as you can see, I'm super particular, so I don't want to scratch this, but I'm sure it gets scratched up anyways. My wife teases me. So that's why I have the propane in there. And then I have some hooks to hook stuff on and some more hooks to hang things on back here. This is another question we get. Do you have a shower? Do you have a bathroom? Do you have a shower? This is our shower. This is a great little shower. And I got to look up who makes that. At this moment, I forgot who makes this. They make this little shower. They make one for the top, a big one for the top, and then they have a couple other sizes. I ended up buying this one at Costco online, and it's a 2-gallon. And I was thinking, that's kind of small, but I tell you what, we can take now, it's quick showers, just rinse off. But we can take 4 showers out of this thing. It's completely amazing. It's durable. It heats up fast if you put it out in the sun. As you can see, it's ready to go here. It's full. And then I keep the nozzle and the hose right here in this bag. You click it up, and then right here you pump it a few times, get some pressure in here, and pumps up, and we just stand back here and take a quick shower. And Oliver, what do you think of that? Oliver doesn't like to take a quick shower, but he needs to at times. This shower, this little thing is crazy. As small as it is, it does such a great job. If you guys are interested in a video on the shower and or the fire pit, just let me know in the comments below, and I'll definitely make some videos for you guys on those specifically if you're interested. If not, I won't. But I was going to go with the bigger shower up top, and I'll show you in a minute. My real estate on top is kind of taken care of already, so I went with this. And I actually like having this on the bottom because we can open the doors. Everything is right here right away. It just works out really, really nice that way. So I actually prefer to have that little shower here. This is a little device I purchased on Amazon. I bought these super heavy duty magnetic clips at Home Depot. The ones on Amazon weren't as strong, but these at Home Depot were just amazing. Super amazing. And we keep our shoes in here, and our biking shoes, and our shampoo, and straps, and little towels and stuff like that. So this is great to just have on the back just for extra storage. I had one on this side, but my new bike comes so far to the end, you can see here, that it was in the way. So I took it off, just use this one now. And so that's the back of the van. Now, and by the way, here's these window shades again. These things are just awesome. They just fold it right down. Straighten it up here just a second, and boom, you're ready to go. It's completely sealed. Again, Vanmade gear. This guy who makes these is super nice. He cares about quality. He's awesome. All right, so let's take a look now at the outside of the van. So some things I did to the outside of the van is I went ahead and added some pimped out wheels. So I got the all-terrain BF Goodwrench wheels on there. I'm sorry, tires with the XD series wheels. And I got to tell you something. With the really knobby tires here and the off-road tires, it makes the van look really cool. I got to tell you, I get a lot of compliments on the van. But I tell you what, it rides like crap. I mean, it's just rough. It makes road noise. I don't know, it's just, it's generally for looks, I would say. And obviously it works well if you're off-road and you're in the dirt, but when you're on the asphalt, if it sees a crack, it grabs the crack and pulls you over. It's a really aggressive tire, and it's made for off-roading. Well, for me, 90% of my stuff or 80% of my stuff is on the cement, and then we get on a road that lasts 4 or 5 miles, and so regular tires would be fine. So I actually still have, I'll show you here, I still have my stock tires that I have when I purchased the vehicle, and I'm actually going to put those on, and I'll let you know if I like those or not when I'm done. It's not going to look as cool, but hey, looks are not everything. So I pimped out the wheels. I went ahead, since the wheels throw up so many rocks, I put on some mud flaps, and I don't think they take away from the van, so they really help from kicking up dirt and everything else that you're gonna get on the road. Excuse me. I also added an awning. This is an awning by Gerard. It's an automatic awning that I put up top there, and then I added a light bar. So I got a light bar up top there. Someone asked me recently, what's the light bar for? And I said, it's the coolest thing in the world. I said, it's a Baja light bar, by the way. And you don't need one. It's really a non-essential thing, but man, at night it's so fun to turn on. It is so bright, it makes me laugh. It's so ridiculous. Like, I cannot believe how bright it is. It's stupid bright, but you gotta have a light bar. I mean, why not? I mean, what's a van without what's a van without something super ridiculous on it, like a light bar like that? By the way, the light bar is ran by a switch here. It has an on-off switch, and then it has a dim and a focus. I leave it on the same setting all the time. So, one thing I did outside also, I put on these windows here, the C.R. Lawrence windows. So these open up to let air in, and those are kind of nice. All right, this was a big purchase. I thought about it a lot, and this, I didn't know if I should do this because it's fairly expensive, but I went with an Aluminess rack, and I don't regret it at all. The Aluminess rack is amazing, especially with the ladder. It just increases your real estate that you have. And we come up here and we sit and we hang out, and I carry my kayaks up here. I can put 2 eddy line kayaks up here that are huge. I also keep my stadium chairs up here. That's why these bungees are up here. You can see I also added a fan, and Aluminess did a cutout for the fan for me. And then I have a roller on the back. This is a nylon roller, so I can load my kayaks on the van with this roller. So what I do is I set the bottom of the kayak there on a floor mat, put the top here, and I can load both of these kayaks. I'll show you the kayaks in a second, by myself. Another thing, if you want to see a video of me loading the kayaks up here, I'll do that, because usually this is seen as a two-person job, and I can load these kayaks all by myself. Generally people say, how do you get those up there? And I said, all by myself. So we put the kayaks up here. When they're not up here, we just kind of hang out up here. I like having this extra space. Then up here, this is Rotopac's water tank. So I put another 2 gallons of water up here, just to if we need more water for the shower. It actually heats up in the sun up here on its own, and if we need more water for the shower, quite honestly, I haven't needed it yet. That's only 2 gallons in there, but for the long weekends we've had enough water. So this is just a little bit of extra, just as emergency, just in case. It's out of my way, it's not in the van, and it's here. So I like having that up here. These are my crossbars and my mounts for my kayaks. I just leave them up here all the time. So this works out really, really, really good. So the rack was worth it. Like I said, it was a big decision, but it was worth it. You know, I generally like to take care of my stuff, and I'll tell you one thing. A van is going to get trashed when you're going out in the woods and you're brushing up near sticks and things like that. It's just, no matter how much you try to take care of it, it gets used. And I remember watching this video one time of this guy that did some work for Kevin Costner's. He had an off-road kind of Tacoma overlanding vehicle, and they said, oh, it was cool. Kevin Costner had scratches and things on his truck, so you could tell it wasn't a showpiece. He actually used it. And when you use your things, it's going to get messed up. I mean, this doesn't mean a lot to a lot of people, but it's starting to get scratches here where I brushed up against debris when I was going to a friend's house up in Buena Vista not too long ago. It happens, so you got to get over that. In a nutshell, that's the van, and I want to talk to you about the Wayfarer Build in particular and whether I like it or not. So let's talk about that. But right before we do that, I want to show you these kayaks. I think these probably got to be, I'm guessing now, but they're probably at least 12 foot long. So I got 2 kayaks in here that I load onto the van. And then this is a little bag I have made for my stadium chairs. When you saw that bungee up top on the roof, I kind of keep these on the top. I made had a bag for them made just so the UV rays don't destroy my chairs. So I generally keep those on the top also there. Let's go talk about the Wayfarer Build. So let's talk about the Wayfarer Build and their kit that they offer. Made by Wayfarer Vans in Colorado Springs, Colorado. I got to tell you honestly that if a company like Wayfarer did not exist, I would not have bought a van. I came from, at one time I owned a 5th wheel trailer, and then I owned a teardrop trailer that was really nice actually. And I would go out and look at these vans, and I thought, God, a van would be so cool because I can put my mountain bikes inside, and we have everything in one location, and it's just going to be great. And then you'd go and look at these builds, and it would cost, you know what, a brand new van was $30-some thousand, and then another build was $35,000 to $70,000, with an average build being about $45,000 or $50,000. And I thought to myself, there is no way I'm going to spend $50,000 on building out a van. For me, that was crazy. I don't have the patience or the skill set to do the build myself. So a friend of mine purchased the Wayfarer Build, and I saw it, and I'm like, he told me how much it was, and you have to check, depending on when you're watching this video, you have to check pricing, but it is way less than the prices I just quoted you to get a regular build. And so it was very affordable, and it's very functional. And I tell you what, if Wayfarer did not make a build like this, I would not have purchased a van. They're the main reason why I have a van at this time. There is no way I would spend that kind of money on a vehicle. That's just me personally. I see the ones that are super pimped out that cost hundreds of thousands of dollars online. I ooh and ah over those like everybody else because I think they're really cool. But like I said, they get scratched up, they get beat up. There's just no way that I'm going to spend that kind of money on that type of thing. Someone else may, and that's their choice, and that's great too. So I love the build. The build quality is not going to be the highest quality in the world, but it's good, and it's good enough, and it's very functional. It's kind of you get to pick and choose what you like, so you don't have to buy everything. If you don't want the boot box, or you don't want the storage box, or you don't want the spice rack, or you do, you can set it up the way you want. And I find it very economical, very feasible, and very functional. I actually love the build. And another thing about the guys at Wayfarer is that they're just nice. If you have any type of little problem, they're on it. They take care of you. The customer service is amazing. I think Austin down there is still doing most of the customer service. He's on it. He wants you to be happy. He wants you to have a good experience out there. I love the product. I love how they take care of their customers, and I love what they stand for as far as getting out and enjoying your life, because as we all know, experiences are more important than things and stuff, because when you do something, you remember it forever and ever. And when you buy something, it's sometimes fleeting. It can come and go very, very quickly. So I recommend their build, and I recommend their company. I just like it. And after I'm probably this is probably 2.5 years for me with this build. And I really, really am still happy with everything. I keep tweaking the van because I like to try different things and make things a little better, but it's mostly just more so comes from a hobby than anything else. But I love the whole van thing. I'm not going to call it van life for me, because I'm more of a van weekender. I don't want to live in a van full time. That's just not me. I want a vehicle to go do things for long weekends, or even a month at a time. As you can see, I store the van inside at my shop. That's a luxury I have, so it's always covered and taken care of. But I just love collecting more experiences on the weekend or a long week, and doing road trips, not just camping, but doing a road trip to Arizona or across the country and seeing different things like that. The van has really turned out to be something that's amazing and fun to use. I was telling people it's probably one of the funnest things I've ever purchased, and we use it a lot for our business because we go out and see customers with it also. So that's been a super benefit too. So I really love it. I hope you guys enjoyed this tour of my van, 2019 Dodge. I hope you enjoyed the comments in the tour of the Wayfarer Build. And whether you have a van or you're looking for a van, I wish you the best, and work hard and have fun journeys. Guys, take care. We'll see ya.